Today on the show, we're going to be talking about the origins of Daredevil. So our story starts with us seeing four men gambling. Then Daredevil bursts in and beats these men up because they are up to no good. And Daredevil says that he's looking for the Fixer and he's going to wait till the Fixer turns up. Going back a few years to 1950, we see a young Matt Murdock talking to his father, and Matt wants nothing more than to be a prize fighter like his father. But his father's like, no, you need to study, you need to have a future because there is no future in being a prize fighter. Once that career is over, it's over and you need to make something of yourself, Matt. So Matt ends up having a childhood kind of secluded, and he was always studying and he never had a chance to go out and play with the other kids. The kids would bully Matt, they would call him Daredevil to make fun of him. So Matt eventually decided that he was going to prove that he was just as strong as them. So he would start training in his father's gym while his father was out of town, and he took to training like a duck to water. But he didn't stop studying, he kept studying all of this time, and Matt's father was aware that Matt was so intelligent by this point, and he wanted to make sure that his son could go to college. The thing is though, Matt's father couldn't land a single fight. No matter what, no one would manage him. So he eventually had no choice but to turn to the Fixer to get some work. And with this, Matt's father was able to send Matt to college. Matt was on his way home from the library when he saw an old man struggling to cross the road. Then this truck started coming straight at this old man. So Matt jumped out straight into the street to protect this old man, and the old man's life was saved, but Matt lost his sight. You see, a few years later, this story was actually retconned, and we found out some chemicals actually fell from the truck, and these were radioactive chemicals, and landed in Matt's eyes. These chemicals blinded Matt, but amplified all of his other senses to superhuman levels. This didn't stop Matt though, because he was able to read just by feeling the shape of the ink on paper, and he was still able to train his body. And the day eventually came that he was going to go and see his father in a fight. See being a relative term in this situation. The thing is, the Fixer had been paying all of the battling Murdock's opponents all of this time to take a dive in these fights. And eventually, the Fixer would ask the battling Murdock to do the same thing. But Matt's father ends up winning this fight. The Fixer is not happy about this whatsoever. And after the fight, and after Matt said goodbye to his father, Matt's father was killed. Matt does mourn his father for quite some time, but he pushes through, makes it to graduation, and starts his own law practice. But he will decide he is going to avenge his father, and this is when he becomes the Daredevil, and he goes after the Fixer and Slade, who are the two men that killed Matt's father. And that brings us back to the beginning of this video. The Fixer and Slade would come in, but they were able to escape by pulling up the carpet from under Daredevil. Literally. So Matt had to chase them out onto the streets into the New York subway system. He's able to defeat both of them and trick Slade into admitting everything in front of the police, which meant the two of them were going to be arrested. And that's it for the origin of Daredevil as told in his 1960s comic, although there are a few bits added a few years later. If you would like to read this series for yourself, because I know older comics are really hard to come by, I definitely recommend checking out Marvel Unlimited. This video is not sponsored, but I love Marvel Unlimited because it lets me read older comics, and while I do have a lot of older comics, I don't have all of them, and there are huge gaps in some series, so I totally love this service. It's kind of like Netflix, but for comics. It's super effective! Okay guys, that is it for today. So what do you think of Daredevil's origin, and what do you think of Daredevil in general? Please let me know in the comments down below. Also don't forget to thumbs up and subscribe if you want to see more history videos. And also don't forget to like me on Facebook, follow me on Twitter, support the show by checking out my Patreon if you want to see bigger and better and more history videos. And also don't forget to subscribe to my vlogging channel if you'd like to start your day with me every single day. My name is Faust, this has been Exploring Comics, and it is super effective.